Eli screaming like an animal. Curse stomp and I crush skulls like an animal. Make it disappear. New magic wand, man. Who killed Hannibal? Who killed Hannibal? Take his. What up? Oh, man, put me on the ox. What I'm playing is better, yeah. Damn.
Wait, hold up. Can you change channel? Yeah, I think this was about to start.
What's up? This is Eli, and you're listening to Eat Worms Radio. Drink your milk.
What's up, everybody? It's Chente, Evan. We got Eli here, special guest.
Yeah.
You're listening to Eat Worms Radio.
We forgot to mention Gage. Gage is here too.
We got Kid Cuisine. We got Kid Cuisine on the scene.
Yeah.
We have beautiful, talented ambient. We have myself, Beto. And we have the man, the myth, the legend, the one who needs no introduction, but we need to give him one anyway. Grape Milk.
Just want to let everybody know that Evan is insanely handsome. I'm sure we all knew that, but let's just get that out of the way. All right,
Thank
there
you.
we go.
So I guess first and foremost is just tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do for those who don't know.
All right, well, I do a lot of weird. I've been producing music for about six and a half years. I've been messing around with video for like 3 years. I did it in middle school for a little bit. I dropped it, picking it back up. I sing a little bit. I rap a little bit. Not really rap, but like sorta. I paint, but the main focus I'm most known for my internet music. I make beats. Sometimes I make EDM. Trying to get out of the EDM thing, but just a lot of weird music. And I came across Eat Worms a year and a half ago. Ambient was one of the first people on the internet who approached me, and now Eat Worms, now other stuff, lots of other stuff. But Ambient started my my community, sort of, or the people I'm surrounded by now. I don't know, that all just sort of came through, man. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's good because we didn't want to talk about that. I mean, you're part of a lot of different like music collectives, and you work with a lot of people all through the internet making music. Like I think that the way people have their music community and how they have their audience is a lot different. Some people, I know people who are, their music audience is just the people nearby them, like at my school.
I wish that was me.
Usually, yeah.
Oh
but it's
my
actually
gosh.
kind of sometimes better because I feel like you reach a larger audience with all the groups you're part of. But
So
I mean,
yeah.
but Eat Worms is just another name on that list. Sometimes I feel like. But I mean, just how do you feel about like just how Eat Worms has grown? Because I think the first time we did it, it was when we made shit, and you sent that song to me, and you were like, let's make something, put it together, and I was like, hey, let's put Vincent on it, and we're gonna make it Eat Worms, and that was just like. It was just a random idea. We didn't know what we were doing back then. We didn't know what we wanted to do with Eat Worms. We just knew like we wanted cool people like you to be involved with that. Just other people who share this creative mindset.
Oh.
And how do you feel about where this has gone?
It's great. Peep the wind. There we go. See, you hear the wind? You hear the wind? There's the
going
wind.
in a different direction earlier.
There we go. All right. So. You brought up something back at the beginning. You were talking about how people at school can like relate to your music. I understand. So okay, I understand how much growth I've received from being on the internet and in finding communities over the web, but there's always a part of me like I wish I could be acknowledged by the people who I spent my day to day with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot. So, I think the acknowledgement is something I always missed. Being here on SoundCloud, you know, it's pretty great, and I've met a lot of people. I want to meet them in person for sure.
Right.
But the bottom line for that is like, I really wish I had more human connections through face-to-face contact, I guess.
Yeah.
How do I feel about Eat Worms though? Like, dude, I want to do what I can without being cheesy to like get people to understand what the focus is of Eat Worms, because
What do you feel like the focus of eWorms is? Like, how would you say eWorms is different from other things?
every Eat Worms isn't really a label, but I was gonna call, I guess for the lack of a better word, excuse me, let's call it a label. Eat Worms as a label is like one of those places where since our this is so difficult to put in.
I know it's not easy. People ask me like, "Oh, eWorms," like, "Oh, it's a clothing brand," or like, "No, it's not." Like, "Oh, so it's like your rap group." No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of bigger things. It's just, when people ask me what eWorms is, I just say eWorms is the homies. That's what it is. That's just the simplest way to put it, because eWorms is the homies, and like the CC next to eWorms, people thought it was copyright. I mean, that was kind of like the funny little ironic part of it. It looked like copyright, but it says it means creative collective. That was the best term we could put to it, because we do so much different things, and we wanted eWorms to just be an outlet and a platform for people who make every kind of thing, just they're trying to express themselves. And I think we're getting to the point where we can get to that level. Like right now it's a lot of music, and we've been going more into visuals but I really want every form of expression to be given a platform. And I want people to I
guess I've had these thoughts when I watch stuff on the Eat Worms YouTube channel. I get this giddy feeling. Like what you guys do in California is so cool. Like the front yard band, you're just playing music in a driveway for nobody. I mean, you did it anyway, and you're so the homies are so robust like that there are people out there who are willing to do whatever they want, even if nobody's gonna listen to them. I think that's the theme of Eat Worms.
Yeah, I think that the goal is the goal is to do what makes you happy, because when we make music, we always consider like what's the most like marketable way that we can just make ourselves be famous, like one-hit wonders. Like we consider that always, but we choose to make something that, I don't know, has more thought to it, but not necessarily has more thought to it, but just like the priority is us instead of the other people. Like if other people get impacted by it and they enjoy it, and that's great. That's what we want, that of course. But first and foremost, it's like unless it's a form of therapy for us, or it's just, for me, Worms has like always been, it makes me happy to work with my friends, because I feel like I'm so proud of something when I feel like, yeah, I did this with this person and this person. I see them every day, and we have these ideas, and we finally put them to paper. Like it just makes me so proud to say I'm part of something like that, and I got to do with the people I just love to spend time with. You know?
Yeah. Does Amaya answer her DMs?
No.
She is sometimes kind of elusive and difficult to reach.
Yeah.
She's here and there, but if you really want to contact her, I have her number and I can get you in touch with her.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to finish the I Stupid You Stupid. There's one song I think I showed Ambient.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea. Oh my gosh. Well, it's not finished, and there's this gap in the middle. I was asking her, hey, do you want to hop on this? She was like, sure. She listened to it. I'm like, hey, I don't rap. Maybe if someone put some bars on it, I could do a chorus. I'm excited for it. I just got to get a hold of her and finish that up.
See, that's funny, because she used to rap when she first. Like, I mean, she's been making music for a long time. Like, just playing different instruments. She does drums. She does guitar. She even does like keyboard sometimes. Like, she does a lot of things. But when she first, that I know, was recording stuff, it was rap music. That we rapped on some songs together. But she always told me that wasn't what she wanted to do. That was just a way to get attention, which I can respect. Everybody has a different path where they take their music, and I think it worked for her. She got people's attention by rapping, and then when she showed that she can make all kinds of different music, and at this point, I think she's making the music she wanted to make for years to come. I think that's good for her. She's reached that point. But
While we're on the
go ahead.
Go ahead. Dude.
while we're on the topic of recent releases, one of my questions was like, I saw you're releasing a lot of stuff, and I don't know, where's that coming from? Is it just because you have so much spare time, or are you feeling extra inspired, or do you have like a head start that you don't want to like just stop, that you keep going, you know?
Oh, that's okay. Oh, good question.
I'm here with the zingers.
We observe.
So there was just this point. During quarantine, I have a ton of dead project files, and a lot of project files also that I'm feeling like could go to a label. And I have this problem, and this cool thing that I like to do, where I like to not wait for the label to reply back. So I kind of get like impatient, and that kind of causes me to just ignore sending music to labels and just post it as soon as I'm done with it. And I think recently, over the past 3 weeks, when I released like 5 songs in 3 weeks, I think I broke a barrier. Like I'm not scared of just posting something because I want to post it, because like I know that a lot of artists get so nervous about posting their one next song, and then when they post it, it's a huge deal. And it's important that music releasing is a huge deal. But what I don't see as productive is being nervous about posting that next song. And so I think I've just been working on that, trying to post something as soon as I'm like, all right, I don't want to work on that anymore. I'm not going to send it to a label. It's a perfectly good song. Guess it's time to post it to my account. And I got this idea from Omnipony. Vincent might know. Omni is one of the members in Six Impala. I was in a VC, a group VC with him. And he was talking to everyone, being super inspirational as usual. And he got me to do that. So I ended up just posting a bunch of music the following weeks.
That's funny because I've talked to Vincent about that same sort of thing a lot lately. It's like I feel like there's always that phrase is like quality over quantity. But I feel like when you get to that point where everything you have already is quality, and then you set your standards so high because you're like, well, I have all of the stuff and it's all good, but I don't want to release a bunch of stuff. I want to do one really good thing. And like I think we get stuck in that mindset a lot. And I feel like especially as an up and coming artist, and that you're still really working hard to make a name for yourself, you have to have a discography, because when someone discovers you and they hear that one good song, they're going to want to hear more. And if you had nothing else to offer, they're going to get bored. I mean, it's good to really filter out what songs that you think you're most proud of and what you think are representing where your music is right now. But when you have all that stuff, you're just gatekeeping it at that point. And I think it's really good how motivated you are to just keep making music and to keep putting out stuff, because I think sometimes it will show just the growth of your music work and how you're improving yourself, but it's music. Then you need to have something to listen to in this meantime, and not always take it in as like, okay, here is just a work up towards something. Like everything's work up towards something, but you can't always think with that mindset. You have to accept what you have right now and put it out there, because eventually you're gonna have nothing to show.
Right. And something else I noticed, or something I think that's important to know, is anyone who's making music, any artist, you're gonna hear they're gonna hear their own stuff, and they're gonna work on their own music. They're gonna hear themselves rap. They're gonna hear all the songs they make. They're so used to hearing all that music. They're like, oh, I'm so bored of my music, and soon they start taking their sound for granted, and they forget that all the people, or for lack of a better word, all the fans, they don't know that music ever exists.
Yeah, every song you release that you've heard a million times, it's someone's very first time. And it's going to hit them in a completely different way that we don't even think about sometimes. And that's why I like to
100%.
just send my music to just completely random people, like not like random people I never talk to, but like my friends that I usually don't work with music. I'll just randomly send them a song, and I'm like, hey, here's a song I'm working on. Can you just give me your complete honest opinion? Because I'm not going to send it to people I've already been working with. Because it's one thing when I work on a verse and I send it to Vincent, I'm like, oh, what do you think about this? We give each other the exact same feedback because we've just kind of we came to this cycle, and it is never, sometimes it's just kind of boring. And so I send it to someone who has a completely different opinion, a whole different perspective.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they gave me some really refreshing, and that gives me some food for thought.
Oh, it's so true. I was gonna say normies, regular people who listen to music, regular people who don't make music who listen to music, or people who are like really addicted to listening. Like they're like people who just audiophiles. So music, they have drastically different opinions than artists, even though in a way they're kind of similar. It's really important to get that the person who listens to a bunch of pop, you want to hear their opinion.
Yeah, because that's the average consumer for your music, because you work to, I mean, it's good to try to impress the people who are experienced and they know what you're doing, like they have the background and they're fellow musicians. It's good to impress them, but the majority of your audience is most likely people who don't make music themselves. That's what you want. You want to inspire people and reach new people, not just get the same audience. Because hopefully you open doors for them. That's what you really want. You don't want to just keep closing and opening the exact same door for somebody because they've already experienced it, you know?
They've already seen that.
Since Eli's our guest, we can have him pick a song first.
Sick. Okay, so this is a song that I have been working on with. I've been working on this with Beto for a couple weeks. Just a little.
Oh, you're going right.
Oh, we're going right to the business.
I'm going right to the business.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah. Let's just go for it. I was gonna make like a wonky trap instrumental, sort of like bass, just do a bass music kind of thing. Turned out like it really needed a vocalist, and so and I did the proper thing and just ask Evan because why not? And this is almost just about done. I think we're really close to done, so I'll play this. Here we go.
Yeah. If you want to talk some shit, I mean talk some shit, but come to me correctly. Don't talk with your mouth full. Yeah, when you come from me, I don't want to see them teeth unless you want to bite. Just be for real. I'll take shit like those thieves, real training wheels, slow poke, smaller meals, chew and swallow all the shot. They just miss empty hollows, lucky tough, you'll either follow where we meet. Come tomorrow, time is borrowed. I owe you, you got priors, I owe you. Hot mess, what a sight. Say I won't, bitch I might. Tryna butter me up, tryna talk to me nice, but they speak it in tongues, sipping McDonald's Sprite. I knew time's up, take it and start a fight.
She got the cakes, we call her bimbo. Hey, 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 yeah, hey, hey, yeah, hey, 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 yeah, hey, hey, hey. Yes, I got a clean bucket. Hey, hey, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, hey. What a low life, stuck in limbo. She got the cakes, we call her bimbo. Try to ride a limo, my pocket sumo. Not for money, just receipts, cause I'm spending way too much. I mean, she's Louise. Let's have a feast, come and eat. Now whoop, 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 that's the sound of the beast. Just an appetizer, the very least. We having bacon for dinner, that ain't blood, it's just grease. Yeah, and if they come from me, I don't want to hear a peep. The sirens help me sleep, the darker the night, the deeper day creep. It gets louder and louder, that's the stuff with some dreams. Not as bad as it seems, I'm not mad, I'm just mean. With a sweet life, without the cream. If they want
mess, then I guess I gotta clean. Fuck it up. Guess I gotta clean. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Yeah. When you come for me, I don't want to see them teeth unless you want to fight this beef for real. I don't take shit like no seeds for the training wheels. Slow poke, smaller meals, chew and swallow all the shot. They just miss empty hollows, walking talking, they follow. Where we meeting? Come tomorrow, time is borrowed. I owe you, you got fires, I on you. Hot mess, what a sight. Say I won't, bitch I might. Tryna butter me up, tryna talk to me nice.
Yeah.
You sleeping with sirens, Evan?
Yeah.
Especially now, I feel like every single night is like is drowned out with sound. I can't stand it sometimes, but I come to this point where I'm used to it. Like it's become natural for me.
I want to take this conversation. Oh my gosh. So do any of you fall asleep listening to music?
Every night, and it hurts my ear. I actually think I had tinnitus a couple days ago because my ear was ringing for about 4 days.
I don't do it. I can't. I sleep on my side.
Oh, well, I do, and I just keep wanting.
I do too, and it just shoves into my ear canal. Like, just,
I turn it. Okay, so I didn't know this was such a popular idea. I tried it once. I turned it down really low though, so it was like background noise. But okay. Evan, you know what MIDI information is? Like the information that plays notes in a software.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so like the song I was listening to, if you can understand, the first time I ever listened to music, going to sleep, the song was like MIDI information going through my head, and it created a different song in my dream.
Wow.
The song in my dream was like based off of, but different than the song I was listening to.
That's really awakening.
So surreal.
The things that happen in my dream from music aren't very helpful. I usually dream about me skateboarding while listening to that song, and I keep having this thing where I jolt awake. Like I dream that I have my foot like so high. Like I know when I'm skateboarding, like I push really, really hard, and I just keep pushing and pushing until I start to have this momentum, and then I lift my foot. Like every time I lift my foot to push, I go a little bit higher, and then I put my foot so high it's like almost to my chest level. And at that point, I can't balance myself anymore, and I just fall forward. And as soon as that happens, I fall forward, I wake up. And I keep worrying about that every time I skateboard. I get to that breaking point where I'm about to fall off my board. And it's kind of a sensation, but it's also kind of scary. And it's really weird when that happens, and I'm listening to the song that I was listening to when I fell asleep, too. It's really weird.
Wow.
That's been my experience for the past couple of weeks, actually. Or I crashed my car. That's really disturbing, but that's been my dream.
So being in Kansas City, like nobody rides a skateboard. Like in California, doesn't like half the population fucking ride a skateboard?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, all different kinds of boards.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I'm so scared of getting a car. I'm like,
I don't blame you.
It's so funny. Like I've gotten to work, to and from work, to and from school. I can't go to a lot of people's houses, but I can go to people closer. Can't go to people like past like 5 miles away. I really can't get that far before it's not helpful. But like you can go a long way without a car. I'm realizing pretty odd. Vincent, do you skateboard?
I use a longboard cruiser hybrid. I don't actually know how to do any tricks on a skateboard, so I don't consider myself a skater.
Yeah, I'm trying to ollie. I'm just figuring it out. But I've been cruising for like 6 years.
Gage, do you skateboard?
I mean, I know how to. I don't have a skateboard. I thought about buying one, but then I copped out, and I was like, I'll just buy something else.
It's just really an investment. I remember I tried to get Gage a skateboard with me, but it's if you want a board that's worth it, if you get a Walmart board, you might actually end up hurting yourself because those boards are so bad that they will pull you down with them. But a good board is
I was trying to get a primitive board because they had the Dragon Ball line.
Let's play another song.
Okay, I could play one. I have a song that you could probably fall asleep to.
Play a fall asleep song. That's it. So we can all fall asleep.
So we can all fall asleep and end the podcast right now. Right now. Wait, how long has it been? Oh, it's only been like 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I don't know.
It's nap time.
It's nap time. We got a break. We got a halftime break.
Maybe after the song we could. We never do that.
Last time we had technical difficulties, and so we had like
you're forced to do
half-hour break.
So, this is a song. It's by Parkbird. It's their album. I forgot what their album is. It's Goyo. So Goyo. I don't know. It's called Unshifted, and it's the first song in the album or the EP, and it's my favorite. It's Parkbird has always one of been my favorites, like lo-fi / ambient artists.
Hell
so
hit it.
Yes.
Milk. Right now, I would cry, fall asleep, and piss the bed all at the same time listening to this.
It's really an experience.
Magical.
Damn, Daniel. Wow.
I haven't heard that for probably 5 years.
You haven't heard that song at all.
No, what I just said. Damn Daniel. No, I've never heard that song ever, but I fell asleep. I just fell asleep a little bit inside when I heard it.
Inside.
I love the way this song creates like a expressiveness, and it feels like it's longing. Like the synthesizer, like that like background like siren synth. It's like so expressive, and it feels so organic. and the piano, it has like this feel. Like I feel like that's actually recorded on an actual piano. It feels very organic. I don't know. Parkbird has always been one of those artists that it's lo-fi, but it's very technically complex, and it's not just like a drum, a kick, and a sample.
Yeah.
It's something a lot more than that.
Oh, that made me feel. Oh, you know that this kind of music in a time like this is really hard to think about, because that type of song can make someone feel like the world is perfectly fine and everything is just perfect. Songs can do that, and then the world still won't change, but the feelings that a person has will be so deep and different in contrast to where the world is.
Speaking of deep, you work at Chipotle.
Deep, like I'm in deep shit, because yeah.
What do you eat Chipotle often? What do you eat?
What do I eat besides lots of Chipotle?
What do you eat from Chipotle?
I get a burrito bowl, white rice, black beans,
Okay.
half chicken, half carnita. I can't roll my R's, don't judge me.
Okay.
You said it better than most people would.
Sick. A fat ass scoop of that yummy juicy queso, because everyone loves that. I mean, I do though. And then I do half hot, half green, sour cream, cheese, and lettuce.
Okay.
And then sometimes I'll do the white person thing, because I am a white person. And I will take my chips and I will dip them into the burrito bowl and eat them out of the bowl.
That's
like
not
the
a
burrito
white
bowl's
person
dip.
thing.
Really?
I've never done that, but now I'm
you
thinking
don't-
about
I've
it.
been
So, like,
judged for it.
I
I
get
haven't done that before.
I get chips like with
Yeah.
The chips, I'm like,
tacos.
chips for the sauce. That's it.
Yeah, I use chips with like the meal. Like when you have like tacos and beans and rice, you can use the chips to eat the beans instead of just eating them with a fork.
No, that's true.
It's not a white person thing. That's just unenlightened.
Dang.
If you think that's a white person thing, you're unenlightened. Broaden your horizons. Put the chip in the dip.
Put the chip in the bowl. I'm gonna tell all my friends you said that. That's important.
It's not like I'm against it. I just never considered it. Like, I know, like I've had like crazy nachos or something like that, where they have like cheese and meat and beans and
That's what it feels
basically
like.
everything you're eating. They have that. I don't know. I don't know why I never thought about it like that. But I don't know. I never eat Chipotle. I hate it.
I haven't gone to Chipotle in like 3 years, maybe.
I hate it. I know. I went
It'll
with my
taste
friends
different.
one time, and they're like, "Where do you want to eat?" And they're like, "Well, let's go to Chipotle. I love Chipotle." And I'm like, "I don't love Chipotle." And they're like,
Have you ever considered my feelings?
They kept asking. They're reading the menu to me. And they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "None of this. Like, I want the tea." They had honest tea. I like honest tea.
I
want
their
honest tea. And they're like, "Do you want some chips and salsa?" And I'm like, "Okay, where can you go wrong with chips and salsa?"
And
Well, they
went
found a
wrong,
way to go
didn't they?
wrong. They somehow found a way to go wrong with chips and salsa. There was
guy.
cheese in my salsa. The salsa was weird. It was like sweet, and the chips were really, really salty and stale. And I didn't enjoy it.
Dang.
And that's been my experience every time I go to Chipotle. Like, I get something. I get something simple, but they find a way to make it weird.
I'm not even gonna voice my opinion on Chipotle, because I'll get kicked from the
Chipotle will watch you this video, and then they'll be like,
video we'll watch.
Pretty
I
sure
mean-
it's... Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love Chipotle, so anything I say,
"Yeah, I love
they're-
it."
You're going to get fired. They're
there's a
listening
gun
right now.
There's a gun to my head. Yeah, I love Chipotle,
It's just sniper trained on your position.
and I never see him. Never see him coming.
Him or her, man. Come on now.
Them.
Them.
Never see.
Chipotle is omnipotent.
Never see them. Never see them.
Chipotle is
Them.
accepting of all genders to be assassins.
Yeah, Chipotle is actually
for
the
rogue
new rogue
employees.
reincarnation of Quetzalcoatl. You know, 'cause that's what the whole ruse was. They're like, oh, we're gonna revive Nahuatl culture and Aztec culture, and here it is in the form of burritos
Here it is.
for white people. And
Here
that was
it
actually
is.
Quetzalcoatl coming back. You know, when Hernán Cortez came and he was like, I am a snake god. That's what happened with Chipotle. Like, we are
That's what
also
fucking happened.
burrito god. And
Conspiracy theories. Yo, have you ever guys before?
I considered it before.
I think I'm doing it right now.
Okay. I got really angry one time. I threw cinder blocks on the driveway.
I saw that on your post.
I remember that.
Have you guys
I
ever
messaged
done
you
that?
and you said, "Never mind, it's done."
The
No.
deed is done.
I don't get angry very often. I'm a really patient person.
I have to like cuss.
If I curse, it loses meaning, and I'm like, it's not fun anymore. I'm not being angry.
Yeah, I'm just doing it for fun. No, yeah, I don't get angry. People yell at me and I never react. Even when I'm stressed out, I don't really get angry or anything. I don't know. Like whenever we're doing something in a school project or something like that, people always get mad at me because like I do everything last minute and the entire project weighs on me, and they're all yelling at me and they're like, "Why aren't you mad too? Like this is your grade as well." And I'm like, because when I'm angry, I don't work as well.
I'm glad I do not work with you on school projects.
Well, whenever you do, we always deliver.
That's true.
Yeah.
I make it happen. I always make it happen. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Doesn't matter if it's last minute, but I do it.
I mean, 90% of the time we just like submit jokes project.
Yeah, but you stress me out, Evan. You doing last minute shit stresses me out.
We are built the complete opposite in a lot of. It's our work ethic, I think.
I'm relating with Evan a lot more on a lot of these.
My priority is my happiness, and if it doesn't bring me joy, I don't care. Couldn't bother me less.
Evan, you're pragmatic.
I am chaotic, and I embrace it.
You're thinking about exactly what you want, what's gonna make you happy, what's gonna do what you want.
It was a weird experience for me. I had gotten out of a breakup, and like I was really rethinking who I wanted to be. Like, not to be deep or anything, but I was coming to this point where like, man, I'm not a kid anymore. Like, I thought I was 16 for 2 years.
I'm about to be 18.
I'm like, no, I needed to start doing things for myself. Like, I need to actually know what I wanted to be. And I was with my friend Jaden, and we were at a Taco Bell, and I was sitting down at the Taco Bell table with her, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to try something new. I'm gonna be a stoic.
This time I'm gonna get 2 tacos.
I'm gonna be a stoic. I'm gonna be so deep, and nothing will bother me. I will be a rock in the ocean. The wave will crash against me, but I won't move. Like, that was like almost word for word what I said to her. Like, I was just being super deep with her, and she was like, she didn't know how to react. She's like, yeah, good for you, let's do it. But then like months later, I really embraced this idea of like, I'm gonna just not let anything bother me. I've always kind of been like that, but now I'm like recognizing the fact that things can bother me, but I don't let them because it's just really irrelevant in the bigger picture. And then months later, Jaden is like, remember when you went to Taco Bell and you talked about stoicism? Like, you become that person. And I'm like, it's crazy, but I have. What I wanted to be, I became it. And
damn.
I reached, like, I've ascended.
Give me that.
At this point.
Give me that.
Nothing can stop me. Nothing in my mind has ever told me that, like, you can't do it.
Oh.
Anything I do. I mean, like, for screen printing, I'm in my garage. It's burning hot. I'm dying in there. I miss my friends. I'm just doing mundane tasks, it feels like. And then my parents come in and they're like, Evan, you're wasting your time. You're an idiot. You're not going anywhere with this. Stop it. Like, every single person wants to work against me. But it never, ever bothered me. Like, when I look back at it, I'm like, man, that sucks. But it didn't suck in the moment for some reason. And,
so fucking relatable.
that's how I roll.
That's relatable because my dad's kind of sort of there, because he used to make music too.
We know.
Because he used to make music too, so he kind of understands what I'm doing. But he's really worried about it paying off, and I've got this idea, like, there's so many people. How many times have I started off a sentence like that? Holy shit! There are so many people.
There are people.
There are
in
real
this world.
There are.
The majority. The majority of
unrefutable truth.
It's like the majority of musicians aren't going to try hard enough.
I think that they worry about, like, they don't have other plans. Like, they have, like, this is plan A. If plan A doesn't work, there is no other plan. And when they make plans, like
when they make plans,
they limit
start-
themselves. I don't know.
Oh.
I feel like when you make a plan, like sometimes making a plan is good, but for me, making a plan limits me, and I feel like I find the best alternatives like right when things go wrong for some reason, and I always have in my mind, and I'm like, there is no going wrong because there always is an alternative. What's going to happen is going to happen, and I'm going to find whatever way it happens, and it's inevitable. I am inevitable. We should play
On
another
the
song.
edge.
Can I play a song?
Play that
I
song.
thought it was Gage's turn.
Play the
Oh.
song. I know.
Well,
Gage, I'm going to play a song. You're taking too long.
No, wait, what? I'm literally right here, bro.
Oh, now he wants to say something.
Now you want to
Talking this whole
participate.
time. Did you not hear me?
Like what?
I've been talking about this, and I've been laughing and joke, and I was saying that, okay, give me a sec. Okay, so I just get to choose, bro?
You already chose. Just pick one.
Just
Yeah,
pick your song.
okay. I know.
We done this.
Okay,
that bitch.
so right now I'm gonna choose the song. It's every single song that I chose is from a game. It was a video game soundtrack song.
Fire.
But I chose this one specifically because it caught me off guard. I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. So Ghost in the Shell, right? Anime, right? I really like the original movie. So I got the PS2 game because I love playing on my PS2, and I see Ghost in the Shell PS2 game. Might as well try it. And it's based on the standalone Complex anime, which is an anime I haven't really watched, and I didn't really care that much about it. And I had listened to the soundtrack a little bit, and I've watched it a little bit, and I know like what the soundtrack sounds like. And so I go into this game with a little bit of low expectations. I kind of boot it up. I boot up the menu. There's some good main theme song, and then I start the game. I start the game. First mission. It starts really quiet. The music, it's kind of low key, and then bam, it just picks up. It's popping. I was like, whoa, what is this? And I played through the entire game. Played through it 3 times in 3 days. The entire campaign, just because the soundtrack kept me going. So hold on, I'm gonna have to type this in.
I have a question. Why is the Groovy Bot called Dancing Queen?
Go ahead.
Here, hold on. I'm just gonna.
Okay, so the first one was called Dancing Queen, and then it totally died on us, and we had to reset it. So we called it Dancing Queen 2. It's because the original Groovy name is so stupid, so we named it to something relevant. It's based off an ABBA song. Yeah, it's probably their most popular song.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
You're listening to Eat Worms Radio.
You're listening to Eat Worms Radio.
Oh, we need that stinger to sort of come in halfway through the song like that.
I got a little bit to say after this too, because I have a little bit of information on this soundtrack.
Vibes.
It really
Yeah.
hit you with the fade out.
So like, I was really caught off because a lot of the songs on the soundtrack for this game are just bopping and they're kind of like, I don't know, it's like EDM, but it's just weird to explain. And so I looked it up because, you know, I've heard the actual Ghost in the Shell standalone complex soundtrack, and it sounds nothing like this. And I look it up, and I guess the guy who did the anime soundtrack is Yoko Kanno. He's a soundtrack creator and producer at Bandai, and so he makes a lot of music for their animes and games and stuff. But for the game, they had a man named
Skrillex.
Nobuyoshi Sano. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. But he did the soundtrack for the game, and I looked it up, and he has quite the track record for video game music. He's most notably one of the main producers of the Tekken soundtrack of the Tekken series, and I could totally see it because I've played Tekken 5, and it's got music kind of just like that.
Let me say something, Gage.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
You're a fucking nerd.
I'm kidding. I mean,
You just can't relate because you don't play any video games. Can we talk about that?
It's true.
Why you
it's
play
true.
no video
Let's
games
talk
at
about
all?
that. Let's talk
Nothing.
about that. Eli doesn't play a single video game.
Not even Minecraft. Like,
I played. Okay, so it's one of the most basic explanations, and nobody gets it. Why do I always blank out when I get ready to answer a question?
you said
dude?
it's a simple explanation, and there's
Never
nothing
put
you-
me in, never invite me to the
There is
podcast
none.
again. I'm gonna ruin it.
You're actually hosting the next one.
No. I just spend too much time making music, and so I just don't even try to play games. I feel like if I did, I wouldn't be where I am musically. With the music community that I got. It's not a conscious choice. I just sort
It
of
just happens naturally.
I just end up playing less video games because
Wait, less video games or no video games? Because
no,
before you said there was
vi-
no video
okay,
games.
no, there are no video games. But I just end up spending my time doing not video game things, just by nature. I don't know. It's no good explanation.
So you're saying
Yeah.
my limited success as an artist is due to my occasional gaming?
Yeah.
I didn't target you, but
Exactly what I said.
but perhaps
The reason why you suck is because
Yeah,
you play video games.
the
and
reason
you
why
are
you
Exactly.
suck-
losing brain cells and you're an idiot, okay?
Yeah, that's
You're inferior.
exactly why. No, it's
Gamer.
just, I just find the opening up the program and making a beat. I just find that more. The
That is a video
dopamine-
game on its own.
It is sort of like the dopamine hit on making a sick beat kind of trumps over making playing through a game of some kind. I have been caught like weeks
been
upon
caught.
weeks. I've been caught weeks
Eli
upon weeks
scandal.
building like huge shit in Minecraft, and I've had a couple
Whoa.
of very successful
So
survival
you've played a video game?
I've played video games.
No.
I know,
No.
somewhere in there was a weak point. We
Fuck.
finally found it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your
no-
structural integrity is compromised. We can now take down Eli.
Now who's the nerd now?
Eli is canceled.
Eli is the nerd. Eli is the nerd. It's so obvious.
Okay.
I will never call Gage a nerd again. Case
Now it's my
closed.
turn.
Oh, go ahead.
Fine.
No, before that, I wanted to talk a little bit about this.
Oh yeah.
Go
Um,
ahead.
I don't always make music because I don't always feel inspired to. Like, it comes in random bursts, and then it's kind of like mana. And when I run out, I feel like shit, and I can't do anything. Yeah. Okay, Evan, it's like, I don't know. What do you do that is relatable to that?
Chakra.
Evan, it's like chakra.
Chakra. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like your phone battery, Evan. You use a phone. There you go. It's like your phone
what
battery.
What video game is that? Chakra. What game is that?
Religion for the PS2.
It's not like I'm gonna play it.
The Old Testament.
That's getting controversial. All right, I'm playing this song.
No, that's funny.
No context? Very cool.
No context.
No context.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
What language is this?
This is in Nihongo.
Sick.
This is in Japanese.
I do understand a little bit of Japanese.
Honto.
'This is like this opens the beginning of a movie. This is how the movie starts. It's like with this kind of song.
Yeah.
It always goes like
As the lady showers.
Right, that's the girl showering, and then
Lady showering.
Now she's on her laptop.
And the husband's driving home from work.
Yeah.
And he's going to open the door. And when the song ends, he opens the door, but it's not his wife's house. It's another lady's house.
Yeah, something fucking chaotic happens, right? And yeah.
I was thinking like a New York City scene in the 80s or 70s.
Yeah, some guys walking and dancing, you know, like that's such a stereotype.
It's La La Land, but in Japan.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
New York City, Japan.
Yeah. When I was in Japan, we kept saying we were in New York, and we're like, finally made it to New York. New York, baby, we in New York. And it was so funny because we went to one place, it was on Odaiba, and in Tokyo, and there was it was a Statue of Liberty, and there was a sign that said, I love New York next to it. And I'm like, we're here, we're in New York City.
We're in New York.
That 10-hour flight, that was us driving across the United States 3 times so we can come to New York. They trick us. They have a really thick New York accent. That's all it is.
Yo, the coronavirus canceled my Japan trip. Did I ever mention that? No. Oh, I was totally headed to Japan.
That's crazy.
And I was learning Japanese for a little bit. I've already lost most of it because when we heard the news that trip got canceled.
You gave
Trip
up.
got canceled. It got canceled day of. They're trying to hold out last minute just to see if the trip was still possible.
Even if you went there, you would have nothing to do because of the
that technically, a lot of the things we were planning to see were outside, and at the time, this was way before it had gotten bad. It was just starting to get bad when they canceled the trip. But almost everywhere we were planning to do everything we were planning to do would be outside. And so the argument is the germs don't travel the same way outside like they do inside. It was a very outdoors oriented kind of trip.
So where were you trying to go?
Kyoto then Tokyo, or Tokyo then Kyoto.
So what were you doing in Kyoto? I mean, just
Kyoto,
shrines, or are you going to like Nara?
Yeah, a lot of shrines and the bamboo forests around there.
Even though you are outside and you think you're in nature, it is still really packed sometimes for no reason. But yeah, no, Japan was an amazing experience for me, and there's so much to do outside. I went to Kyoto. I went to different parts of Kyoto. I went to Nara. Nara was probably the best part. That's where all the deer are. They're walking everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of temples there. The big one there is the big Buddha one. It's a giant temple, and I think the Buddha is like 40 something feet tall or something like that. It's the biggest Buddha statue in the world.
It's a big Buddha.
It's this huge Buddha, and you walk by it, and and it's really cool. It was really cool to go there. Then we went to it was like those options. They're like, okay, do you want to go to where there's like shopping, or do you want to go on this other little tour where we just walk into the woods and follow like the less beaten path of like where the temples were? And those were my favorite parts, because
that sounds so good.
Those temples were so grown over and just so tucked away, but they're really old. Like, even though they're so like, you would think that the temples that don't get a lot of traction would be the ones that close down or something like that, but no, these ones are like hundreds and hundreds of years old. That's what I love about Japan. Everything there is just so old and has crazy history. And the contrast. I was in Harajuku, and Harajuku is like, people say it's the fashion capital of the world. Like, there's so many really big brands there. Like, the Bape store is there. You have a Human Made. You have like 3 different Supreme stores there. Like, every single store is there. Like, every brand you can think of, and some that are starting to become popular in America. And I shopped around Harajuku, and we put so much time. And I'm like, I want to check out this store, this store, this store. And then I turn around, and it's the biggest forest I've seen in my entire life. Behind me is the biggest city I've seen in my entire life. In front of me is the biggest forest. I walk in there. There's a giant torii gate. Those are the big wooden gates that have like 2 pillars and the bar on top. I walk over there. This thing is the biggest thing I've ever seen. It's like 10 times my size. I look at it in complete awe. I walk in there, and then once I'm like just maybe like 15 feet into the forest, the sound of the city is completely gone. I'm in a whole different world. It's like 20 degrees cooler. There's like this level of fog. I'm in a whole different magical world. And I'm like, whoa. And we're in here, and time moves so slowly. And then we come out, and then we're back in the city, and we're hopping on a train, and I'm like, where did I go? And that's the crazy thing about Japan, is that they have these magical worlds just tucked away, and they do such a good job of protecting those things.
Conservation is their thing.
Yeah.
And, you know what? A really interesting thing I learned is that they wear masks not to specifically prevent diseases, but it's because it's respectful.
Yeah.
It's like here, I'll keep my germs away from you because I know it's the nice and right thing to do. That's the mask thing. And everyone, apparently, all the people who were going to go on the trip with me, they were all thinking that it was because Japan people in Japan get sick all the time. Apparently, that's not true. That was really interesting.
It's such a culture of respect there that like I can't compare to anything. Like is one thing for like a lot of cultures, like in Mexican culture, it's always you gotta respect your elders, respect your parents. Like that's really strong, and you do respect other people. But in Japan, like you respect complete strangers, people you don't even talk to. You still respect them in a way.
That's brilliant.
But just going back to conservation, Japan is beautiful in that sense. Is that like when I was there, they were fixing some buildings, like some like castles and some temples, because the Olympics are going to happen and they want them to look fresh and brand new. But the crazy thing, the reason why, like their construction when they're building things is actually really quick because they're so productive. But for like older temples and like old castles and just like sites they're trying to conserve, the way they conserve it best is that they use the exact same construction methods than when they first built it. Like I was at a castle, and this castle is hundreds of years old, and they're fixing it and they're renovating it, but they're not improving it. They're building it the same way it was built 100 years ago because they want it to be in its truest, rawest form. So they're using the same materials, they're using the same methods, but the thing is, they also talk about, they're like, this hurts the country's economy sometimes, and how they're structured, because
I would have thought
those building methods are not always effective, because like an earthquake will easily wipe them out and they'll just fall apart. Yeah. And they're willing to just pay the expenses because just for the sake of the authenticity of it. And that's just beautiful in my opinion. Like they're like, we don't care how much money it costs us, we're gonna make this as real as possible.
Oh my gosh. As we're talking about this, I start getting so the church that I go to is out in a place called Overland Park, Kansas. Okay. Overland Park is like suburban, big houses, long streets, no pretty forests, lots of big development. Not really a big city because everything's so spread out, but you'll see these big stores. And then you'll go on for a couple miles. You'll see some houses, and you'll go in. There's more. It's so. I had a conversation with my dad about all this. I keep venting every time we're on our way home from church. We drive past this stuff. I'm like, I'm so glad we don't live here. And then he said something really funny. It's like he said, yeah, it's so beige, and he described the way a city looks as a color.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
So crazy.
But yeah, no, you definitely feel something like that in Japan. But it's crazy. It doesn't feel like the same though, because there's still these beautiful little tucked away areas where just the spirit and natural state is completely conserved. And like when I was in Kyoto, I was in it was a Zen temple, and it was a really popular one too. It was like they're known for the Zen garden, and we were walking by, and there was this like pool of water, and our tour guide, he was native there. He grew up in Kyoto, that is, because a lot of tour guides will kind of move all around, but he grew up in Kyoto, and it's just something he grew up with. And so he was sharing some of his knowledge, and he was saying how they have this, like, there's a phrase, the rolling stone grows no moss. Like, you kind of hear that thing, like, as long as you keep moving, you don't grow moss. That's like kind of the American thing, but it's also in Japan too, but it has a complete opposite meaning. Because in America and in other parts of the world, the rolling stone grows no moss's idea is that if you keep moving, you won't grow any moss, and you'll stay fresh, and you gotta keep moving.
Stay clean.
But in Japan, the idea is that the rolling stone grows no moss is a bad thing. Is that you're moving so fast that nothing will grow on you, and that you're not putting enough time into something for it to not grow. That in order for something to be effective, it has to grow. And if you're moving too fast and you're not growing anything, that shows that you're not putting enough effort into things. And I think that kind of that same mentality is used for a lot of the artifacts that they try to preserve, is that they find beauty in things having just moss and leaving it the way it was meant to be. And I just think that's so beautiful, because I was just going in different parts all over Japan, and I would just find all these mossy rocks and all the stuff that like stay the same for hundreds of years. They don't touch it. It's just amazing. It's just proper, like, preserved, like a time capsule there.
Wish I was there. That's just the kind of city I want to live in. That idea is so important. Having things be a symbol of the past and having them be around, dude. So much gets demolished in America and rebuilt with something, especially in suburban Kansas, just suburban areas. Just think, lots of rich people houses. Things just get built. Like trees and perfectly green fields and forests just get dug up.
It's different. Like over here, like it happens all over America, and like, people don't think about it the same here. Like in my area, they're building a lot of houses. Like I live in Sacramento, but I'm close to Elk Grove, and Elk Grove is a newer city. Like Elk Grove is putting itself on the map. People say they're from Elk Grove. They don't say they're from Sacramento. They say they're from Elk Grove, even though they're right next to each other. Elk Grove is fresh. But the thing is that they're all built on marshlands, and a lot of like these vernal pools and these environments are just completely wiped out. And they've been there, like this was what characterized this area, is those area like those environments, and we don't even think about that. Because if you drive out maybe 10 minutes from me and you just leave civilization, it looks amazing, and you would never expect it to look like that. You go to these marshlands and you see all these different creatures, and it's crazy to think that that's what it used to be.
I'd think, and I'd also think, I'm pretty not educated on this, but I feel like marshes play some environmental role.
Everything plays an environmental
everything does.
role.
True.
Like the ones here, the vernal pools, is actually a really interesting thing, is that vernal pools are seasonal, and so like for some areas like marshlands and like swamps and sort of things, is that the water stays there forever. Like it will go down or go up depending on the rain season and everything like that. But the water is always there mostly. But for vernal pools, the sake of its existence depends on it going down completely to the point where it's gone and then coming back up, because they lay eggs there. A lot of the creatures will burrow, or their lifespan depends on the pool drying up and then coming back when the rainy season returns. And so people don't think about it sometimes, because they think about, oh, it's dry right now, so it doesn't matter, it's just gone now. But it's supposed to come back, and it's always going to come back. There's these different animals that have to have that cycle. But I never gave any context to the song I just played. So the song I just played is Dancer by Tatsuro Yamashita. This guy is crazy. He's amazing. He's a multi-talented instrumentalist, songwriter, singer, one of the pioneers of city pop. Is an 80s phenomenon in Japan and was parts of the world too. Is amazing music, and he does it in all different ways. I accidentally stumbled upon him, so it's a weird net of how everything connects together. But Tyler the Creator is one of my favorite rapper singers,
of course,
influences for me. His recent album Igor, there's one track on there, Gone, and Thank You. And Thank You is the second track on that song, that 2-track song. And that's technically a cover, interpolation, remix, rendition of a song by Tatsuro Yamashita. So Yamashita, he does like a lot of songs in English as well as Japanese. And this song was a more newer one. It's called Fragile. And Tyler the Creator, I guess, stumbled upon it and decided to do his own version of it. And I accidentally found Cozy, and I'm like, what the heck? This is that song. This is Thank You. And then I started digging more into discography, because he's just amazing. And he's just been making music for a really long time. And it's really hard to find physical copies of his stuff, because I fiend for physical copies of music, because I feel like I get to experience them on a whole different level when it's right there in my hands. And I appreciate it more. And I wanted to find some Yamashita copies, but they're only in Japan. And if I knew about them earlier, I was going to so many stores in Japan, I did not even consider it. And it's funny too, because there's another singer called her name is Maria Takeuchi. She's popular for the song Plastic Love. It's like an internet phenomenon. Like, the internet goes crazy for this song. So Takeuchi is actually Yamashita's wife. They married in the 80s. He produced that song and helped write that song. And it's so crazy how he was connected to that. Like, I was like, wow, I know this guy more than I think I do. Like, he's just always been here, and he's still making music, and he's still putting stuff out. And he's done all these commercials. He did music for all these commercials for car companies. Like, I think he did some music for Honda. Like, he just did everything. He normalized Christmas music in Japan.
What?
Like, he's a crazy dude. He's so cool. He is a legend, and he's awesome. I loved his music, and when I found that song, I was like, this is cool.
What you said about the physical disc or the vinyl record,
cassettes, everything.
Cassette. That's like listening to it on the internet is like getting on a Discord call with a friend. But then
compared to hanging out with them in real life,
it'll feel different, even though me, Evan, Vincent, and Gage were all talking. It would be completely different to see you guys in real life. That's interesting.
And what I also love too is that when I mean, for one, it's convenient for me when I'm in my car because I always have to play around with the audio settings to make sure it's balanced. But when you put the CD in, it just does it on its own, and I can high speed scrub and move around where I want the song to be easier when it's on a CD. And also, Tyler the Creator has made this special for me because when he does a CD release or a physical release of anything, he adds different versions of the songs, or he'll put bonus tracks that are only on physical versions. And it makes me appreciate them even more because now I want these I want the physical versions because they're not the same as the digital ones.
Yes.
You won't find the same version. And it has so much value to it. And I'm always trying to find people who do the same thing, but I don't hear very often. But the good thing is, like, people like Yamashita, he's been making music for a long time, but none of it's on streaming services. None of it is released on YouTube. It's only people ripping it from vinyl or cassettes or CDs. People will take the passion in their hearts and the love for the community, and they take the time to rip it. And that's the only reason why I'm able to access his music. There's a lot of albums I see on Discogs and all these compilations that I can never hear because nobody's ripped them and nobody has them because it's only Japan exclusive. There's one random record store, and like Shibuya had like 50 copies, and that's it. That's the only time music was put out. Like, what the heck? But I feel like if I had it, it would be magical for me.
That's brilliant. That's how you make a 10-cent song cost $100.
That's how you think about that. Things are getting saturated.
Internet music is free, but imagine making something so valuable and epic and awesome, and then making according to the laws of supply and demand, you work that supply and demand system, and you make the supply so low, people demand it so high. And I am thinking economics here, but also it's just gonna build your value. I need to start burning some CDs.
I'm telling you, dude, it's a whole different wave, and I really want to do the same thing.
I want to mail
puts
people
value to it, and it's I live for it.
I finished my milk.
As per the name.
You're finally living up to your name. He finally did it. He said the thing. He did the thing.
He said the funny meme thing.
Did it.
Funny guy. He did the funny thing.
You funny guy did the funny meme.
I'm laughing.
Made the laugh.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap things up then. It's been really cool having you on here as a guest.
No, for real.
Episode.
Oh, yeah. Fuck you guys.
I think this is like the deepest we've ever gotten with anyone.
Aw.
That sounds
sick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our deep, luscious voices.
Yeah, dude. If you listen to this, you might have had a good time.
You might have a chance. Awakening. Maybe you had a bad time.
You had a bad time.
Tell us in the comments how you feel mentally.
If you did not like this, let's talk about this. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. We'll bring it up.
Don't press the dislike button. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's talk about it first. Come on.
Let's talk about it. Oh, put it down. Put it down. Put the like button down.
Be careful.
You need a reason here. You're listening to Eat Worms Radio. Thank you.